let's introduce AndyDavo's thoughts on Amazons, the new roster. We're looking at Blood Bowl Tactics as the website, which there is a link in the Twitch chat right now. So if you want to jump into this page, you can do. And it also has underneath this some initial builds. Well, before we talk about the actual roster, I think we should think about where they were, where Amazons were, the old Amazons, in the design space beforehand. And I think really there are 3 or 4 different types of game in Blood Bowl. We've got fresh TV 1000 teams that then go off and play in leagues. We've got tournament teams where they play at tabletop predominantly, but not exclusively. And then we have perpetual league play. And I guess when you're trying to build a team, you should think about the balance choices for each of those 3 different places. And if you're trying to make a balanced game, and this is the first question, are you trying to make a balanced game? Then you should be thinking about those 3 criterion. And the current Amazon roster, I think everyone can agree, wasn't great because they started with 4 blodging blitzers, and then everyone else had dodge. So you either had tackle or you didn't. That was a binary choice. And if you had tackle, the Amazons were not too bad. And if you didn't have tackle, or even worse, no tackle, no block, they were an absolute nightmare because knocking them over was a 6+. So what you want to see is you want to see someone maybe move away from that design choice where dodge has both a hard counter in tackle, and you probably want to look at the stat line of an Amazon team in his old universe, which was 6-3-3-7, and say, well, the armor value wasn't great, and the defensive skill of dodge wasn't a great concept. Maybe we should move away from those tropes so that you get quite a nice balanced team over a much wider team value bracket, because at low team value they were obnoxious and really strong, and at high team value they were terrible. So let's dive in and have a look and see what they've actually done to this team, and then we can try and score them against those 3 balance points of initial TVs for a league. We've got tournament games, and then we've got high TV. Not really sure whether they're trying to lost a lot. Well, we'll see. So first of all, the linemen or the linewomen. We've got here 50k, 6-3-3, 4+ pass, 8+, which is 7 armor 7 in old money. So have they changed? No. And they've got general access and agility and passing as secondaries. So at 6-star player points, they're going to get block, and they're 50k. I think that's a mistake in my view. I don't think we've moved away fundamentally from an Amazon and what its problem was, but next, throwers. We've got 80k for a thrower, and we only get 2 of them. 6-3-3, 3+ on a passing, so not quite as good as a human thrower. 7+ again. Dodge on the ball, pass, safe throw, safe pass. It's really nice they've included on the ball, and it's really nice they've included pass and safe pass, so they're now less likely to get intercepted. On the ball, I believe, is pass block and kickoff return, I think, in old money. Is that right, chat? Just confirm that. And they've got a general and passing. So again, their first skill or first skills will be block and sure hands. We've got secondary skills as agility and strength. So you could put guard or strong arm on them if you want. It's pass, block, and kickoff return, yeah. So interesting player. Like I like the idea that they put some new skills in, and they're slightly more expensive. And remember, at the old team value, you could get 12 players, 4 blodgers, 3 rerolls, and an apothecary for 1,000 team value, and they were horrible to play against because they had everything. Bear that in mind. Next, gone are the 0-4 blitzers, and they've actually split blitzers into 2 different pots effectively. You've got Piranha Warrior and Jaguar Warrior. Let's cover the Jaguar Warrior first, which is for 110k rather than the 100k for an Amazon blitzer in old money. We've got 6 strength 4, good. Delighted they've put something with a bit of a different stat line in. Well done. They've also made it armor 9, but most importantly of all, they've given it defensive, which is the skill that turns off guard in your turn, I believe. So I think that's really interesting that we've got defensive there, and we've also got an armor 8 piece, 9+, 8 if you're playing Blood Bowl 2. And they've got general and strength access, so that's your guard, caddy. So the first 2 skills here are going to be dodge and guard, block and guard. Okay. Nice to have 2 strength 4 blockers, and it actually changes the team up a little bit. Then we've got Piranha Warriors for 90k, move 7, which again is a difference of the standard flat 6. So there's at least 2 different stats in this team now rather than 6, 3, 3, 7, which was horrendous before. Strength 3, agility 3+, passing 5+, don't really care about that. Armor 7, and then you've got dodge, hit and run, and jump up. People are going to say, well, what's hit and run? So let's have a quick look and see hit and run. After a player with his trait, not skill, trait, performs a block action, they may immediately move 1 free square, ignoring tackle zones, as long as they're still standing. They must ensure that after this free move, they are not marked or marking any opposition players. I.e., you can punch, and imagine you get a both down, and you've blitzed into a cage corner, you can step away again for free, so that you're not marking someone. It doesn't say you have to, it says you may. Someone on the weekend told me a very interesting idea that maybe you could use this in conjunction with giving it +2 movement. So you've got a movement 9 hit and run player. It gets a free square of movement. Now it's movement 10. Give it sprint and sure feet. Boom, you have a natural one-turner on Amazon teams. Ignoring on a blitz. Yeah, it may or may not. Have they answered that actually? FAO create already needed it clicks on a blitz. So it's an idea. Now it does say block action here, and I declared blitz, so that FAQ needs answering. But hit and run is a very interesting new skill, and I like the idea that it's coming through. The annoyance is they've put it in the traits category, and the reason, of course, they've put it in the traits category is because every skill at the moment has 12 skills? 6 skills? 12. So there's no space to put it in the skills category. I suspect that'll get balanced. Anyway.
This is the dawning of the sea otter.
So, back to the team. Now, what does that actually do for an Amazon team? Let's have a quick look. Let's open the calculator and put it over there. Now, let's take all the positionals. So we need 2 Jaguar Warriors and 2 Piranha Blitzers. Well, that's 4 players. The average out at 100k each. So, that's 400k. We'll take 2 throwers. That's 160k. So that gives us 560, and that's with 6 players. We need another 5 players after that. 6 and 5 is 11. So we need another 5 players. That's 250 plus 250k. That's 810. And we'll take, what, 3 rerolls plus 60 times 3 is 180. So they're 990. So for 100k, you get 3 rerolls in 11 players and 2 positionals. If you drop a reroll, of course, you get an extra player. But they've got everything. So for 1,000 TV, they're a touch more expensive than they were. Just a touch. I still think they're a bit undercosted. Especially in comparison to, let's say, a Khorne team. Where for Khorne, you get about 5 positionals and that's the lot. You need 9. So they are incredibly cheap still. So I think at TV 1000 League play, I'm nervous that they are still very, very cost effective. Very, very cost effective. At this point, hit and run works on a blitz, yeah. And I don't think you'll also take both throwers. I think you'll only take one of them, and that'll save you 30k. So actually, you can minus 30k off this. Minus 30. 960. It doesn't quite give you 12 players, which is my initial thought. It did, and I've added it up wrong. You're 10k off. But you certainly can get a couple of extra players after your first game, and you can be playing off 13. I think this is too cheap. So, in the first balancing perspective of TV 1000 teams, I'm super duper nervous that this is too cheap, and a lot of other teams will struggle against this team, especially when they don't only block. Next, tournament play. Tournament play is a really interesting one to consider, and what they'll need is they'll need to be taking block on singles, so that you've got blodge. That team then looks and smells very much like a dwarf team without any guard, because the strength 4 players have to take block. Yes, they'll take guard, but they can't. They have to take block. So I'm not sure that they've balanced them for tournament play at all. And I think they had to take block off the blitzers before, but they need their own tier of skills now, Amazons do. They need the ability to be able to stack 2 skills. and no tournament ever in the universe ever lets that happen. So unless the tournaments accept that Amazons need additional specific special help, I don't think you'll see much play at tournaments other than, oh, this is new and shiny. So I'm nervous of that too. And then my third balance point, which is medium/high team value, where we are looking at sort of 1600 plus, and people have got Mighty Blow and Tackle. Do you think that they fix the design problems of Amazons of old, where once your opponent's got Tackle and Mighty Blow, the joke is they'll never win Chalice? Yeah, they'll never win Chalice because Tackle Mighty Blow smashes Amazons off the field. They haven't fixed that either. So I'm very nervous of this team. I think it's wonderful that the new teams are coming out, but I'm not certain that the balancing on this team was done quite as well as it could have been. What will happen is that they might be allowed to take star players, and I think you might actually find that Amazons lean into the star players at tournaments, and that might help them a lot. So if they're allowed to take star players because they are cheap, maybe I take the F away from the tournament balance and actually give them a pass because they're allowed star players. Maybe. David Beckett says they've got a big player. No, they've got no star player. No big guy. Which is a shame. I would love to have seen them have access to a Croxigore. I think that would have both sold lots more miniatures, which is good for GW, and also would have been good for the Amazon roster overall. I love the fact that they've started splitting these out. That is brilliant. I think they could have gone further, and I think we could have seen a catcher. That would have given them another model to sell. It's like they've had a good stab at it, but I think they could have done more, and I would have loved to have seen more. Look at the Frog Lady star player. She looks really good. Yeah. If they get 7 skills or whether that's 7 bludges. It is, but imagine stacking that against dwarves, Shamba. You stack that against dwarves and they go, oh, I've got 7 bludge. Cool. We've got 6 guard. Amazons get smashed in the face. So I do think they've done a good job in terms of they've changed it and they've improved things. But I don't think they've gone far enough, is my view. I don't think they've pushed the Amazon roster into the design space that it needed, but I think they've moved it away from where it was. Is it less obnoxious than at low TV than it was? Yes. Good. Well done. But you haven't fixed the high T value problem. You've caused them a few problems at tournament play. I'm nervous. Very like the original Norse redesign. Yeah, yeah. The new Norse purple chest, I much more prefer. I think that's they've managed it. What do you think, PC? What do you think? Am I being harsh? Chat, what do you think? Am I being harsh with this? Am I not being harsh enough? I'm going to come back on the screen now. What do you think? Am I being too harsh? Making your throws on 2+ agility could have been fun. Yeah, they could have put 2 agility 4 players in there without breaking the roster, I think. But I reckon they'll be a little better than you think. So Shamba, I think they'll be reasonably effective in league play at low TV. That's what I think. I don't think they'll get much love at tournament play unless there's star players or something to help them. And I don't think they're any good at high TV. Ah, cheers, Pepper. I was also looking for something more. Yeah, like that's really what I'm suggesting, is that they need to be more. They've gone from here. They should have gone off screen over there, and they've sort of done this. Like, that's a really good alpha, or even a beta. And then with some feedback, they could have just gone, ah, I see what you, yes, right. That's me. And I wonder if the testers weren't allowed to push through what the testers wanted, or maybe I'm just talking complete shit, and maybe the testers like, nope, this is really balanced. Well done. Who knows? TM Gojo says Zons are my favourite. I'm not good with them, but I enjoy playing them. I like them. They're interesting now. I won't be better with them. think we'll need FAQ to be sure. Yeah. I don't suspect it'll stay in traits for that long. I think the next time we see a rebalance of the game, that'll get shifted well out of traits and moved into an agility skill. That's what I think. I think that skill is going to be moved into skills. Ha! Who knows, right, Killer?
Moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty.
Good luck with the chalice tonight.
Thank you very much. Hello, Gelbeck. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring in Mr. Hellboy now, and he's going to give you his thoughts on... I'm going to bring them both in, it looks like. I'm going to bring in the commentary team, and they're going to give you their thoughts on Amazons. Mr. Hellboy, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Duderino, how are you?
Are we on the clock already?
No.
The game...
Davo's been trying to fill 45 minutes.
I understand. I wonder why we were on in-depth and Amazon analysis.
Yeah, he can't start a new game because I don't know if you missed it. Dude,
I've been watching. I've seen it all. A misunderstanding for comic effect.
Oh, right. Oh. Oh, dude. Oh, wow. Very funny. Very good.
Are we going to talk about the weekend during the game, or are we going to talk about it now so we can talk about the game? Because that would be a change if we did that.
Oh, God, dude, you're on fire this evening. Wow, maybe you should,
you
should do the halftime report. Whoa. Oh.
Techno Trousers, or Techno the Grey, as he was known on Sunday.
Oh, he's like a wizard.
No, he just didn't look very well.
Moidranian says he's never heard your two's voices before. I am going to ask you both what you think individually of the rosters. Hellboy, do you want to give me your thoughts?
Thank you, Tom the Owl. The most entertaining match, I think, of the weekend was the Tom Off.
Oh, was it available everywhere because of Tom Tom?
Hey, that was not bad for him.
Oh, everyone's a comedian tonight. God.
I know.
Yeah, I think Amazon's probably pretty strong in a league or early low TV format, because what team is going to be able to take down a strength 4 dodge piece that's carrying the ball? Because you're wanting to score on those ASAP. Because blodge guard and you're done basically, and then you probably don't redraft any other players other than those two. Like, I would be tempted to not save up any more money. Like just buy those 2 players back every season, and the others you can just start fresh again. You know, you get 2. You could turn one into a ball carrier if you wanted to, or you could just make them both blodge guard, and then the blitzers you can decide to do what you want, and line women, because you can now access the. You can choose for the doubles. Say for the doubles, you just go block guard on all of them. It's. That's what your league teams will look like. That's what your high TV will look like. They'll get beaten up at high TV when everyone else is bringing the kill skills, same as always. So yeah, I think in the league they're interesting. Like, there's some potential there in the league. I think for NAF they are pretty shafted unless you get a good rule set for them. But I think that tournament organizers will take a while before they find the right place to put them, because Games Workshop still have them as tier 1. They're no longer tier 1 anymore. They are. I was chatting with Core on the weekend. I was chatting with Joe Mangi a bit as well about them, and they are not. They're not the same team. You actually need a double, I think, to make them work, because you're probably in a NAF tournament. You're probably not taking guard on the 2 strength 4.
Yeah. And you want stacking as well, don't you? Because you actually want the 4 blitzers now need to get back to bludge guard of some description. And
you can't take guard on the linos. They don't have strength access. Oh well, then they're tier 2.
Yeah, you've only got six players that can get guard actually. Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, then that makes it worse. I still think for League, then you do well. That makes them worse for NAF. Then they're absolutely. I was hoping to get 200 on them, but I don't know if I will be able to now.
Yeah, Jesus. I hadn't spotted that actually. It's so obvious.
No, I missed that. Yeah, I'd missed that. I was so fixated on the fact that the blitzers didn't have the blitzers, which are just catchers, without catch. Yeah, I'd been so fixated on them not having guard that I'd thought the line women just did it automatically. Yeah, no, that's not good. That's not good. Wow. Well, then you absolutely need stacking then.
Yeah, I think they've got battered at tournament play, in my view.
What's your thoughts, dude?
I agree with what you said, Hellboy. I was going to say the same thing, pretty much.
We are 2 pages of the same book.